neighbor. I hope y'all are all having a fantastic day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you. I hope it's being absolutely wonderful. And I hope you're ready to join me in solving some Myrtles. These are some really fun logic puzzles. I grew up doing things like this in the Gifted and Talented program that I was in. I don't know why we called it Gifted and Talented when I just went there for one of my classes and did riddles and logic puzzles and stuff. But I really like these logic puzzles. And this is really interesting because it kind of has like a narrative that goes with it. So it's really fun. I've got this pencil here, and it says, "As far as I know, I'm delightful." And it's funny because my boss at one of my jobs gave it to me. So this says, Myrtle, Volume 1. Two little pencils on the side. 100 elementary to impossible mysteries to solve using logic, skill, and the power of deduction. Now in print, the puzzle sensation from Myrtle.com. So apparently, before this was a book, it was a website. I never used the website, but I'm about halfway through this book already. I like to bring it with me on flights and travel and stuff. It's a nice, just screen-free way to fill my time. And it's by G.T. Carber. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyways, I've got a little bit of an interesting setup here with my tripod. You can probably see the shadows. Still, I think it'll work out well for y'all to see everything. And then the spine says all the same things as the front. And then the back gives kind of a breakdown of how this all works. So let me read you the little synopsis down here. Join deductive. I always thought it was detective. Wow, I guess I've been just skimming past everything. Join Deductive Logico and investigate murders most foul in Myrtle Volume 1. The first of their kind, these humorous mini mystery puzzles challenge you to find who done it, how, where, and why. Examine the clues, interview the witnesses, and use the power of deduction to complete the grid and catch the culprit. Together, you'll uncover a buried secret beneath all of the murders and a message that can only be decrypted when you've solved them all. I forgot about that. Packed with illustrations, codes, and maps, and brimming with wit and intrigue, Myrtle Volume 1 is the must-have detective casebook for the secret sleuth in everyone. Apparently, Constance, my cat, oh my goodness, she's playing with a hair tie. I apologize for any skittering you might hear from her in the background. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to where I was. Okay, so you can see the early ones are pretty simple, pretty small, just little grids like this, and then they get a little more complex. Still just this and this. Oh goodness. Oh, my boyfriend did a couple too, which is why some of these will look a little different. Oh, and see, here we go. We start to get a lot more information here. Oh, look. I've caught up with myself. Okay, so this was the most recent one that I did. And here we are with puzzle 52. You know, it's a little dark, so hopefully, I tried to go for a cozy vibe, but hopefully it's not too difficult for y'all to see. So here, on this page, 52, A Return to the Institute. Deductive Logico headed back to the Investigation Institute to find the the grounds were overgrown with weeds. With Eratino gone, nobody was taking care of the place, and it seemed quiet. Too quiet. Logico realized that was because the only guard had been murdered. And here are our suspects. Numerologist Knight, a mathematical and esoteric prodigy. Not only do they know the value of V, they know the meaning of V. I don't know if they mean V is in the letter of the Roman numeral. I'm not quite sure. Numerologist Knight is represented by these glasses here. They have a little crack in what would be the wearer's right frame. So while it's on the left for us, since Numerologist Knight would be wearing them, it would be on their left. No, right. All right. And they are 5'9". They are left-handed and have blue eyes. Oh, almost knocked my tripod over. They have dark brown hair, and they are a Pisces. Up next, we have High Alchemist Raven. They're represented by these funky little goggle glasses. They look like old 3D glasses. There's an old joke that all alchemists are high alchemists. Raven hates it. Raven is 5'8", right-handed, with light brown eyes, dark brown hair, and is also a Pisces. Up next, on our list of suspects, we have Herbalist Onyx. In her greenhouse, she's grown every kind of plant required in the culinary, magic, and poisoning arts. Herbalist Onyx, she is a lot shorter. She is 5 foot exact. She is right-handed with dark brown eyes, black hair, and she is a Virgo. And then last on our list of subjects, we have Philologist Flint. You can learn a lot about a word from its etymology, like where it came from and what it used to mean. Flint is 5'2", left-handed, with green eyes, blonde hair, and is an Aquarius. Now, Philologist Flint has like this kind of almost pilot's hat and glasses as their symbol, while Herbalist Onyx has the sun hat as her symbol. Now, onto this page, we have all of the locations where the murder could have happened. We have the Grand Chateau, which is indoors, and it's represented by this whole building. The tree growing in the middle has started to wilt and die. We have the Great Tower. It's represented by this kind of rook that you would see on a chessboard. I believe that's rook. I have not played chess in a while. A towering tower specifically built to drop things for experimental purposes. Interesting. Then we have the miniature golf course, which is represented by a windmill. And it is outdoors, and it says 18 holes, windmills, caves, and loop-de-loops. Loop-de-loops, loop-de-loops, loop-de-loops. That's a fun word to say. But no one wants to play. Then the last location where the murder could have happened is an impossible hedge maze, which is outdoors. People have to be rescued from the hedge maze all the time. Then down here we have the weapons. First up, we have a dowsing rod, which is exactly that, what it's showing. It's medium weight and made of wood. You can find water, oil, and suckers with this. That's funny. Then we have a hypnotic pocket watch, which is symbolized with a little watch with a little face, and it is either 3 o'clock on the watch or it is 12:15. And it is lightweight and made of metal. And if you look deeply into this watch, you can tell the time. We have a quasi-perpetual motion machine. Interesting. It's 2 gears connected by a chain, and it is heavyweight and made of metal. It doesn't run forever. This one made it a day. Interesting. And last but not least, we have a crystal ball, which is heavyweight made of crystal, and its symbol is a crystal ball. If you look into it, you will see your fortune, so long as your fortune is a crystal ball. All right, And now we move on to the last section, which they introduced in the second half of this book, the motives. So here are the 4 different motives that the murderers, or the not necessarily the murderers, the suspects have. To prove they're tough, which is represented by like a strong arm, or like an arm flexing. To inherit a fortune, which is represented by a bag with a money symbol. To fight for love, represented by a heart, I think rightfully so. And last but not least, because they could. And I think that's represented by like a mountain? I don't know, that's interesting. Okay, now we get to the clues and evidence. This is a little unfortunate with the setup, but I'll try to keep this in a place where you can see it. So as we go through this, I will start marking things on this most likely because I like to just do it as I go. So the shortest suspect, remember that was the herbalist. The shortest suspect brought a dowsing rod to reach things. So great, we already have one thing that we can fill in. So here's how I mark it. When I know that something matches up with another thing or person or whatever, I color it in, I shade in that box, and then I put X's in all the others. Not sure if you can hear that or not, but hopefully you can. I tried to go with a louder pencil than I normally do. Alright, the next clue and evidence. High alchemist Raven was seen hanging around high above the grounds. Okay. So that one is this symbol for High Alchemist Raven. Which one was high? I want to say it was the Great Tower. Yeah, that would have to be that. High above the grounds. Okay, so I'm going to say that this means that that's where High Alchemist Raven was. The suspect with a quasi-perpetual motion machine deeply desired to fight for love. Okay, so here's where things start going here. So the quasi-perpetual motion machine was this one. And it connects with this motive to fight for love. I'm not very particular about how neat my X's are. Then, no one with blue eyes was in the Grand Chateau. Okay, so who had blue eyes? Blue eyes. That was just numerologist night. Brown eyes, green eyes. Okay. So, no one with blue eyes was in the Grand Chateau. Numerologist night was not in the chateau. A fortune-telling tool, so that would be the crystal ball, was found beside a tiny windmill. So the windmill connects with the crystal ball, or the golf course, the miniature golf course. Okay. The suspect who would kill because they could was in the Grand Chateau. Okay, so the Grand Chateau needs to connect with a motive. So that's going to be in this box because they could, right here. So that also means that numerologist night was not killing just because they could. So there you go. The Aquarius wanted to inherit a fortune. Okay, who was an Aquarius? Pisces, Virgo, Aquarius. Philologist Flint. Was inheriting a fortune, or wanted to inherit a fortune. So that one goes down here. Alrighty. Alright, and then this last, second to last clue. The suspect with a time-telling device. That's got a lot of lots of sounds in the front of the mouth, did not want to prove they're tough. So the time-telling device does not go with this motive, the wanting to prove that they're tough. And then this goes where? So the guard's body was found between twisting hedgerows. So ultimately, whoever connects with the maze is our culprit. So now we can go through and try to connect other things. So we know that Onyx is not at the miniature golf course. Great, so we can cross that off. We also know that this motive is not Onyx either. Great. The killing because they could, that could still be Onyx. That could also still be Onyx. But money is not Onyx up here. Okay. What else can we block off? I know there's probably a more efficient way to do this, but this is how I like to do it. So let's see. Okay. The chateau connects with because they could. You're not this chateau. So you can't be there. So that leaves only 2 more possibilities for the chateau. Is there anything over here? No one with blue eyes. That was just you. Okay. Interesting. See, and this is where now I start to get a little, not necessarily confused, but I like to start thinking about all of this. Because there's a lot of gaps in the logic that you're trying to fill in. So, let's see. The windmill. Could still connect with that for you. Who wanted to prove that they were tough? But the time-telling device did not want to prove that they were tough. Time-telling device, not tough. The suspect who would kill because they could was in the Grand Chateau. Okay, I got that. The Aquarius wanted to inherit a fortune. I did that right? Yes, that was Flint. Okay, so then that means we can cross that off because that doesn't line up with that motive. We can also cross this off because wrong motive there. So here we go. We've got that, which leaves those 2 locations for Flint and numerologist Knight. Okay, great. Let's see, what else does that connect? Oh, great, we have even more information to fill in because this connects over here. All right. Sorry if the pencil bumping up against the tripod is making noises. Alas, I'm doing my best. And hopefully y'all can see decently. And then the chateau. I feel like a minion honoring like Papa Boy. Chateau. Okay, great. So that crosses off 1 person, and that means that Onyx is not our culprit because she was not in the hedge maze. So let's see. Oh, look here. This is our only option left in that column and rows. That means that goes there too. Oh, no. Oh, I was reading the wrong. I thought I messed up somewhere. No, I was just getting myself confused. That's funny. Okay. Oop, bumping my tripod. You connect with you. Okay, so this connects this and you, and that's all the information we need. Okay, so who, or actually, this is the other thing we need. All right, I'm gonna turn this, move it off to the side so I can write a little better without bumping the tripod. So who, it was Flint with, what was his title? Philologist. And he did it with the hypnotic pocket watch. And he did it where? In the hedge maze. Is that an impossible hedge mage? Mage? Maze. And why did he do it? Well, Flint did it because he wanted to inherit a fortune. There you go. Just as a recap, in case it cut out, our culprit is Philologist Flint. He murdered the guard with a hypnotic pocket watch, which I don't know how exactly, but you know what? More power to him. He did it in the impossible hedge maze. And why did he do it? To inherit a fortune. I don't know where this fortune is coming from or why killing a guard would give it to him, but good for him, I guess. So this is something I like to do. It's really nice. If you enjoyed this, I would love to do more, but we'll probably end up doing more and filming them, especially when my phone has a little more battery, so it doesn't just pause out on me, and I don't know how much footage I lost, but hopefully not much. Regardless, thank you so much for joining me in this. Again, this is a really great book. Really fun. I have an app on my phone where I do logic puzzles too. I'm like an old lady. The only games on my phone are like Sudoku, Solitaire, Mahjong, and logic puzzles. So like anytime kids are like, oh, you got games on your phone, I'm like, not any that you would want to play. But I like them, and they feel stimulating and keep me from doom scrolling. So those have been in the frame. That's funny. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed our time with Myrtle and deductive logico, which, oh, I get it, deductive logic, which, like, I always thought they were making that play on words with just detective logico, but I was misreading it this whole time. Anyways, I hope this was fun. I'm sure you will see me do more of these. Yeah, I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.